mama fish up, a rabbit, mama fish up, a woman that you see, Yanyasika, and Tom Punching. Now, so your tassita, now you want singing until Pomadina count 2 blessings, and them dumb one by one. Now I'm go, now back a day, a day, my bless. When I'm in Swansea, now one can never sing in I've been in my power, shutting for the phone, and one of Yati, Pomadina count 2 blessings, get them one by one. And show one can never get there, a day, my bless. I fish up, me mama fish up, me mama fish up, a rabbit, me mama fish up. I fish up, me mama fish up, me mama fish up, a rabbit, me mama fish up. To the aces of Fisher Party, he just mean I will say them, I will say that Fisher
Welcome again, Liga Matters, the original Liga Matters. We thank you all for your support over the years. I am pleased to be here again today for the first time in our 11-year history. This is the first time we do the program on a Sunday because of the Christmas yesterday. Mr. Gordon Henry, Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year to the family. Let's share the program as soon as you join us. Share the program for us. Yes, we are also doing a bit of experiment. We are also broadcasting at the same time from YouTube. You go to Justice and Law Solicitors. Just look for it and it will take you to YouTube page. Yes, share the program for us. We thank you all for your support over the years. We will not be here without you. Baby Fire, good afternoon to you. Yes. Share the program for us. We're bringing you a wonderful family program today. Wherever you are watching us from. Today we are going to be looking at how to get your children into private school without paying the private tuition fees. Sometimes we sit there and we ask ourselves, how can this be possible? Especially if you are earning below £20,000 a year. We all know private education, it can cost between £20,000 to £48,000 a year. On average, we pay about £7,000 per term. And most of us, we look at it and straight away we conclude that, oh no, we cannot afford this. Is that the case? Or there are ways and means? It's just that you need to know the system. Knowing the system helps a great deal. Sometimes it may seem like impossible, but it is only possible if you believe in it, if you work towards it. So we'll be looking at that today. Not only that, okay. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Abo, I'm glad to hear you. Abo, I'm glad to hear you. And I'm in Happy
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Let's start the program. Today it's a bit unusual because the show is being done on a Sunday. Normally we do the program on a Saturday, but because of the Christmas yesterday, basically there has been the need to do the program today. I know that some people may be at church if their church are still open. Some people may be home, but this is a program that I promised someone that I'm gonna do this program today, regardless of what. And I believe that is one of the areas that we don't normally look at because sometimes we are intimidated by the cost of private education in the United Kingdom. Many a times people just look at the fees and straight away it is a put off. All that they say is that I cannot afford it, taking into consideration that the individual's wages may be about £20,000 a year, and we have school fees that people have to pay sometimes about £40,000 a year to get their children into these schools. And as a result, most of the time it's a put off that it discourages people straight away from even looking at it. Right. I've had the opportunity to speak to people in the education sector, and also from my own experience. I don't want to say too much about it. But one thing that I have realized in the schooling system, especially the primary school in this country, is that sometimes our culture and sometimes our mindset, the way we perceive things and the way we see things, do not help us in some ways in getting our children into what may be termed as the private schools, i.e., fee-paying schools. But then again, if you take your time and you do your research, you can also see that even though it may be a school paying fees, the fees may be very, very expensive, and so on and so forth. However, if you do your research, you will see that there are means and ways in which you can also get your children into private schools. This raises the question as to whether going into a private school, is there a need? Is there a difference between private school and the state schools and the independent schools and so on and so forth? It's a matter of what you believe in. Some people believe that private education will be good for their children. It's a matter of belief. It's a matter of perception. And it's what you are looking for your children. I'm not here to say that, private school is better than state school. And I'm not here to say state school is better than private school. But I'm only here to give you that choice. the choice that sometimes we think is impossible, i.e., school paying schools, fee paying schools, whether it's possible to get your children into these schools, especially if the obstacle that you face is only the fees that perhaps you cannot afford. So for me, it's very, very important that people are given choices. I have a friend, very rich. The house that he lives in is about 1.5 million. But yet, not that he cannot afford a private school, but what he said to me is, David, I don't want my children to go to private school. He went to private school and he had maybe a bad experience about private schools. So for that reason, he has decided that he wouldn't want his children to go to private school. So it's a matter of choice. And some people too, they believe that if the opportunity arises, they will do whatever it takes for their children to go into private school. So I am here really to look at opportunities that are available for parents and how you can get your children into private school if you so wish and if it's something for you. So we're going to be looking at that. We will also look at immigration law, some updates for you. And then we will also look at United States of America. Certain states in the United States are actively recruiting for foreign nurses. I will give you the link. And I went there this morning, and in fact, it's straightforward. If you call me and you want me to do it for you, I cannot do it for you. This is something that you're going to have to do it yourself. All that I'm doing is pointing it out to you where you need to go and what you've got to do. And when I went there, the instructions are fairly simple and straightforward. So please do not call me and start asking questions about how to write a CV. I am not a CV writer and I cannot help you with that. So if you need someone to help you with a CV, you're going to have to go somewhere else for that person to help you. Because these opportunities that I have seen in the United States of America, they expect you to have a readily prepared CV available so that you can upload it. It will go into their system. And basically, there you go. You'll be fine. So you'll be looking at that as well. I'll give you the link on the comment section so that you can also try and apply for these jobs if you wish to relocate to the United States of America and work. From January also in this country, the UK government has realized that we need more people in the care sector. They are going to relax the rules from January going. So we will be looking at that as well, small introduction. So we will look at all this today. If you have tuned in and you are watching me, do the best that you can and share the program to your loved ones. We are on holidays. So as soon as I finish the program, my phone will be switched off. Because if not, I will never have a break. Because many a times after you've done these programs, that is where people will start ringing, keep ringing, and keep ringing. If I don't switch off the phone, I'm going to be working throughout the holidays. I will never have a break. And there is time for everything. There is time to take a break. And therefore, that is what I will be doing. So sorry if you call me and you don't get me. I'm also taking a break. A well-deserved break because we worked throughout the year. And sometimes, if you don't take a break, you will crash. And with that in mind, we will take a break. As soon as we finish the program, the phone will be off. So if you call me after the program, you won't get me. But all that I say is that try the best that you can, share the program. People who are unable to watch us live due to other commitments, they could watch the program after that, we finish the program. They may not be able to watch it live, but I'm pretty sure that they will take their time and watch the program. Now, let's look at this. Schools in this country, one thing before we go into it and the requirement and how to get into a private school for your children without paying the school fees, let's look at this. For example, why do someone may decide to choose a private school for their children, whilst others may decide to go to public school? Like I was saying, it's all down to belief systems. And whether we like it or not, human beings, we do judge, rightly or wrongly. We do judge. And we have our own perception about what is good and what is bad, or what is good, what is better, and what is best. Sometimes there may be element of truth in that. Sometimes there may not be truth in that at all. However, the society that we live in, people have certain perceptions, and whether we like it or not, it's a fact of life. So I'm going to use an example for you. We come from Ghana. I am a Ghanaian, so if you're watching me and you're not Ghanaian, forgive me. We have certain schools in Ghana that as soon as you mention the name of that school, the general perception is that then you are clever, or you are smart, or you are sharp. Whether that is the case or not, unfortunately, we have stereotypes, we have stigma, and therefore certain names is connected with intelligence, or maybe being smart, or maybe being sharp, or maybe being privileged. So be it. Whether it is true or not, that is fact. That is a fact of life. It may not be the truth, but unfortunately, sometimes it is what it is. And there are certain schools that as soon as you mention, people begin to look down upon you straight away. They think that that school is not a good school, and people who go to that school may be up to no good. I don't want to mention names. So, for example, you come to Ashanti region and you mention marijuana, and you say you are looking for secondary school associated with marijuana. No doubt that school will come up because people have formed a stereotype. People have formed this stigma and they have attached it to that school. So as soon as you mention that name, then people will link it to maybe marijuana, weed, and tampi, and so on and so forth. And I believe that all those watching us today, you can all sort of associate with this story. It may not be the truth, but unfortunately, that is the reality. That is the life that we lead. So whilst it may not be the case, stereotype, stigma, normally will be linked to certain institutions. Some people benefit from their association with some of these institutions. So, for example, I don't want to mention names. Recently, there was National Science and Maths quiz in Ghana. And following on from that, then it became a hot debate. Some people who went to certain schools were jubilating and certain remarks were made. Some people were not happy about those remarks and it became something big in the country, Ghana. Not only this year, over the years, that has been the case. And the fact that some people can be linked to that school, to them, it shows that the school is a good school. But the question is this: does it mean anyone that went to that school or so-called prestigious schools basically will reflect in their future lives? Whilst the case may be yes, in some cases, the answer will be no. Whilst certain schools will give you the foundation to be able to move forward in life, sometimes too, it can be a drawback. So life sometimes is all about you, the individual. That is why some people don't believe in the private education system. Some people believe in the public school, some people still believe in the private school, but I'm here to give you that choice. If you want your child to go to private school, do not see that the school fees as an obstacle. Because today I'm going to break it down, some of these big private schools, what they look for. Even if you're on a low income, how you can actually get into the school. And it's not only these big schools, there are so many schools around us. Because we defeat ourselves just by looking at the price, just by hearing that it's a private school, it's a school paying fee, that alone put us off from investigating more to be able to get our children into these schools. Not private education is good for every child. I have to mention that. Not private education is good for every child, but there is this strong belief that it may not be good for every child, but it can give every child an opportunity which the child may not otherwise may have had. So in this country, United Kingdom, for example, as soon as you hear about Eton, ETON, anyone that follows politics, anyone that follows current affairs in this country, as soon as you hear about Westminster, you sort of it rings a bell. Because in this country, whether we like it or not, most of the prime ministers that we have had in this country, they went to Eton. Is it by chance? Or perhaps there is something in there? Whether we like it or not, like I say, certain schools may open up opportunities for you. And I believe every parent wants the best for their children. And therefore, they will try their best to give the best to their children. For that reason, I felt the need to come here today and talk about this, because there are so many areas that I think people from the minority background, especially Black Africans, we are falling short, and we are setting ourselves limits to what we can do and what we cannot do, which for me doesn't help our children and the future generation. We should be able to tell them that there is no limit how far you can go. We have to get our minds from that limitation and believe in our own capabilities and our abilities to get to the top. And how do we do this? We can do this by enhancing and empowering our children. We need to tell them that, yes, you can do it. Do not sit back and say that, well, this is not for us. There is no limit. It's equal opportunity in this country. And therefore, for me, I think it's very, very important that we empower our children, because they are the next generation. I look around, even this parliament, and also this government, you see around, and you could see that there are opportunities out there for people coming from the minority backgrounds. So for me, it's about time that we keep pushing, try to get our children into certain institutions or certain schools so that they can also have better opportunities. Someone will say, how can I afford the school fees? Some of these schools, like for example, Eton, they charge £44,000 per year. My wages is about £20,000 a year. How can I afford to take my children to Eton? Now, for example, Eton in particular, every academic year, they have 90 free places for children from poorer backgrounds. When we say poorer backgrounds, i.e., a parent or household income is below a certain threshold. So they offer 90 free places. You don't pay school fees. However, they have this test that you need to take. if you're able to pass the test and you fall within certain range in terms of wages, then of course you could get into it. They have another school which is in West London for boys and girls from the age of 11. Latma Upper School. Once again, also they have places for people from underprivileged background. You have Westminster School, which is in central London. Nick Clegg went to that school, and also Louis Theros. There's a guy who do a lot of documentary for BBC. Once again, it's a school for boys and girls from the age of 11. School fees is not easy. They pay 14,424 school fees. However, once again, they have, ways in which you can go without paying the school fees. All the schools, they have what we call the bursary system. The bursary system, where you make an application for bursary. They take into consideration the household income, and then they will then make a decision as to whether you will be allowed full bursary or part bursary. You look at Eton, for example. In this country, 20 prime ministers, including Boris Johnson, they attended Eton. Prince Harry and Prince William, they also attended this school. The school fees is hefty, but once again, they have a bursary system, they have a scholarship system. The scholarship, i.e., we'll be looking at academic prowess, and also some of these schools have certain criteria that you have to meet. Sometimes they'll be looking at sporting abilities. Sometimes they'll be looking at someone's ability in music. They can give someone scholarship because of the person's ability to play the piano, musical instrument, and sometimes even the ability to sing. Some of these schools are there for people like that. So regardless, if you have a talent, then you can also seriously consider scholarship. There are some of these schools who will give you 100% scholarship. You don't have to pay nothing, and you can get into these schools. After I've talked about it, I will talk about the importance of getting into these schools and how opportunities perhaps may come in your child's way. So we'll be looking at that as well. So now we know that through the bursary system, you can get into private school, and also scholarship system, you can get into private schools. Some of these schools are boarding schools. Sometimes you can also decide to go as a day student, depending on the family circumstances and what the family believes in. So the question therefore is, as a parent, your child has just come to this country. You are not familiar with the school system in the UK. What do you do? Many a times, people will be told that simply go to the council and apply. Yes, that is an option, but we must not limit ourselves. We could also look at some of these private schools and apply to them. So we can also do that. That is also a possibility that you can get your child into some of these schools. Okay, now you come to this country, you're not familiar with the school system. The question is, what do you do? Right. I think the first thing that you must do, you need to decide whether you want your child to go to a private school or not, and what you are prepared to do. Because some of these private schools, or most of these private schools, they will simply not just take someone because the person wants to come to the school. They also want to see what the person can actually offer the school. what you can also do for the school. So sometimes some of these schools will be looking at children with special abilities. What are some of the things that they'll be looking at? I've talked about instrument, also sports. Sometimes they look at dance. These are things that we do not value where we come from, unfortunately. I'm being a bit generalized here, but we don't tend to value these things. Like Norman will say, my friend Norman will say floating dancing, where the children will be ballet dancing. You look at these things where we come from, you start thinking, what is this? But these are some of the things that we should be looking at if we want our children to go to some of these private schools free and we don't want to pay the school fees. So the first thing that you have to do before even the child comes to the UK, try and do a bit of research in your area. Look at private schools in your area. And I'm going to teach you this today because it's going to be very, very educational. So for example, I live at E17. That's my postcode, East London 17. So I will simply go to Google and put in private schools at E17 London as an example. And then you put that in. And then I have a lot of schools that has come up through Google. So we have Al-Bimel Independent College, Private Sixth Form School, London. We have North Bridge House School. We have Gayhurst Independent School for girls and boys from the age of 3 to the age of 11. We have Fairview International School. So it goes on and on and on and on. So now I have an idea, the schools in my area. Okay. I have an idea of school in my area, private schools in my area. So let me just mention the first 8. Gatehouse School, Heath House Preparatory School, Forest School, London, Faraday Prep School, the Lyceum Preparatory School, Dulwich College, Oakfield Prep School, Charterhouse Square School. So these schools have come up as the private school in my area of E17. Now, if I want my child to go to any one of these schools, or if I want to find out which one of these schools is the best school in the area, what would I do? I can go to the school's website and look at their Ofsted report or any report about the school. Most of the time, these independent schools is not regulated by Ofsted. They have their own sort of regulatory body, which is different from the Ofsted. So you need to do a bit of search about this school. And you need to go to the school's website, because now that you know the name of the school, you should be able to Google the school's website and find out what the school is about. So for example, let's choose Gatehouse School as an example. This is at E2 because I live at E17 as an example. These are some of the schools that came up. So I'll go to the school's website. Okay. Gatehouse School. The school website is up here. I wish I can show it to you, but I can't. So, and you just look around to see what the school is going to offer. You go to the school's homepage, you go to About Us, which is the school life, and then you go to admissions. That is the key section, admissions. So you go to admissions, the admission process, you see. You go to admission process, it will tell you step by step. So here, first, step 1 is telling us nursery enquiries. Step 2, introductory tour of the school. Step 3, for a nursery place, what you need to do, the school fees that they charge, and so on and so forth, and what the school can also offer you in terms of bursary. So you go to the school system, i.e. website, or even if you are not sure what you do, just give the school a call. Be bold. Don't think that by asking, that alone is something that basically is going to mess you up. That is not the case. All that you can do is to ask. I remember one Nigerian lady about 15 years ago. She said something that I will never forget. I said, David, if you don't ask, you don't get. So there is nothing wrong in asking. So all that I say is that all the time, do the best that you can. It's a bit tedious, but if you want something for your child, you have to be prepared to fight for it. That means you have to do the tedious work that most people wouldn't want to do. By so doing, you'll be also enhancing your child's future. You'll be giving them opportunities that otherwise they may not never have had. So all that I say to you is private school is a choice. But this is some of the work that you need to do in order to get your children into private education. Someone will say, what is the point of private schools? What is the point of private schools? There is a point of private schools, and I'm going to use this as an example. I remember my daughter when she was about to write, I think A levels or O levels, some time ago, and I was looking for a private teacher for, I think it was French. You have to choose one language and so on and so forth. And my French is so bad, and therefore I could not teach it. And also the time wasn't there. And then we had to start looking for a private teacher who would be able to help her with her French. So we started looking. As we were looking, we came across different people with their CVs. And what I discovered was this. People who went to Cambridge, people who went to Oxford, they were charging £50 per hour. And people who did not go to so-called prestigious schools, they were charging about £35 per hour. Looking at that, I started asking myself, why is it that some people have to charge more than others? That is, the common sort of assumption or common question that anyone may ask once you see it. Then, once you start processing it and you start thinking about it, whilst that may well be the case, then you check it out and you realize that they are also selling the school that they went to, because they went to schools like Cambridge and Oxford. It has given them some sort of value, you see, indirectly, because once you hear Oxford and Cambridge, automatically society has put it in your mind that they are smart, that they are sharp, they are intelligent, they are educated. And therefore, if they have been able to go through these prestigious schools, then they are smart. They can pass on that smartness to your child as well. And for that reason, they are charging more for their service. You see, whether we like it or not, society is designed in such a way. And whether it is true that they will be able to pass on that knowledge or not is something that we all live to see. But all that I can say is this. Most of it will depend on the individual. You see, if the individual is prepared to learn, then of course, they should be able to learn and achieve whatever they've set out to achieve. But all that I say is that whether we like it or not, whether we agree or not, the fact that individuals have gone to certain schools, it puts them in an advantage. i.e., over someone who has not been to that school. It is not nice, it is not right, but unfortunately, that is the society that we live in. That is the world that we live in. And for that reason, they are able to command more wages. That aside, how would private school also help our children? Whether we like it or not, people alike tend to associate. And therefore, if we are looking at these statistics, about 20 prime ministers in this country went to Eton. And the chances are that, unfortunately, most of the big jobs in this country, most of the big institutions in this country, whether we like it or not, they may have close association with Eton. And as a result, if they are recruiting, for example, and one of the managers went to Eton and they see my CV without actually seeing me, and they look at my CV from the age of 3 to the age of 15, I went to Eton. This is what we call the natural bias. It is not something that people do it consciously, but they may do it unconsciously. They may do it without realizing that they are actually doing it. So all that I say is this: whilst it may not directly have direct impact, it may have indirect impact. Sometimes people can just put their hand on their chest that I went to this school, I went to this school. The fact that some individuals have been to certain schools, they take pride from where they have been. And all that I say to you is this: there is nothing wrong in being proud of a school that you have attended. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. However, what I say is this: if the opportunity presents itself and you can actually put yourself arguably in a better position by attending some of these schools which are private, it also enhances your opportunities in life. Because at the end of the day, arguably, people who went to these schools are the people, whether we like it or not, are the people who are also leading or perhaps heading big institutions. And therefore, like I said, natural bias is always going to be there. I do remember some time ago, one of my clients called me and said, "Oh, Lawyer Darko, your name has gone far, to the point that I was recruiting and I saw one of your clients. And when I saw her documents, the letter from the Home Office, they've written Justice and Law Solicitors. The fact that I saw the name Justice and Law Solicitors, automatically I give her the job. The fact that he saw the name Justice and Law Solicitors, the fact that this individual was also my client, straight away there was that link, and the common factor or the denominator was justice and law. He does not know this person from Adam or Eve, but the fact that the letter that confirmed his or her immigration status had the name Justice and Law, it was addressed to Justice and Law Solicitors, that alone was enough for the person to favor this individual and give this individual the job. So this is how sometimes unconscious bias, that is how it works. You don't go out there to do it, but It happens without even you thinking about it. So it's for this reason that I say to you, that you got to do the best that you can. If it is for you, go for it. If it is not for you, I respect that, and everyone must also respect everyone's opinion. Private school may not be the one for everybody, but if the opportunity presents itself and you are interested in it, do not let the school fees alone put you off, because they have bursary system in place and scholarship system in place. Some of these schools may see that the child do something called extra curriculum activities. Maybe the child plays football, the child play piano, musical instruments such as organ, such as keyboard, and so on and so forth. If they realize that you are good in one of these, sometimes you can get scholarship through that, through music. Sometimes you can get scholarship through sports. So sometimes academic prowess, some people are very, very good. Naturally, they are brilliant, they are talented, they are very good. They are able to, basically academically be good. They can also get scholarship through this. So whilst the state system or the state system may be there for us, I think if at all you are also interested in private, don't give up. Don't let the school fees put you off. You can also do it, and you can also go for it. That is all that I say to you. So I hope that this will help to a great deal, especially those people who have made inquiries about private education in the United Kingdom. The key is to find out the private schools in your area. Obviously, you don't want your child to travel too far to get private education. These are, basic stuff that we need to take into consideration when we decide to embark on this journey. So look at your area, put in your postcode, Google it, private school E17, all the private schools will come up. And then once they come up, go to their website, the school's website, look at fees, look at bursary, look at scholarship. They will specifically state that in order to get a scholarship, 100% scholarship, a child must be A, B, C, D, E. All that you have to do as a parent, print it out and ask yourself, how do I make sure that my child is able to tick all these boxes? So if, for example, your child is very good in education, then of course, you take that. Your child is very good in maybe football, you take that. So how do you make sure that your child is still performing, playing football? Look at your local area, look at local leagues, register your child, take your child every Saturday. So when you apply to the school, you can even say that my child is part of this social group. They play football every Saturday. All this encourages, is enticement for the schools to recruit your child or to give your child, a place. Not only that, most of these schools, you just don't walk in. You have to attend interview. The interview is also very, very important, that you teach your child to be confident, and if you are a man and you are listening to me, when it comes to these things, we should not leave it to the women alone. We have to play our part. And sometimes psychologically, being there for your child, you don't know how helpful it can be. Be there and be a supportive father to your children. Accompany them to these interviews. As you are going with the interviews with them, strike up a conversation with them. Ask them very simple questions about interview. Why have you chosen this school? What do you want to do in the future? What are you doing at the moment? What are your predicted grades? What are your interests? Just psych yourself, psych your child up. And believe in me, once you are able to be there for the child and build the child's confidence, the child will go to these interviews and they'll come out with flying colors. So all that I say to you is this: be a parent, don't just be someone who just went in there and basically made a baby, but be there for your child and help them to grow, help them to prosper in so many ways. And these are some of the ways that you can do for your child. Like I said, a lot of people from Asian communities are taking advantage of this particular route. But unfortunately, some of us, we don't know. And if nobody teaches us, how would we know? So please, all that I'm saying to you is we all need to invest a bit of time. You cannot just sit there without trying. Try and fail is better than not trying at all. And someone will say, what is the point? For me, there is a point. Because as we all know, now you look around us, most institutions, directly or indirectly, are forced to recruit people from minority groups. Because if not, it doesn't look good. It will not look diverse. And therefore, these days, some of these institutions, whether they like it or not, being pushed to recruit people from minorities. So you need to ask yourself, are you going to be the one? Am I going to be the one? Is he going to be the one? We all have to force our way in. We all have to keep knocking on the doors. Because if we don't, we are just going to be sitting there and complain rather than doing something about what we need to improve our situation and our destination. We cannot just sit there and complain and moan all the time. We have to make it happen. It's about time that we fight and move the Jerusalem gate. Because if we don't, we will always going to be at the back, whinging, complaining, which does not lead to anywhere. So in order to bring differences, in order to bring about change, we also have to keep pushing and do our bit to make sure that we are able to push through the door and get to where we need to get to. Someone will say, is there a point of going to private schools? Like I said, one gentleman said something to me some time ago that I will never forget. When he first said it, I thought it was an insult. He said, life, it is worth knowing people who are worth knowing. It's not everyone that one will say that that will be that beneficial. Everyone is important, but there are some people that if you know them, the advantages is more than others. I should put it that way. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because those in private sectors, unfortunately or fortunately, they will likely turn up to be managers, bosses, and sometimes, prime ministers. And Eton is a very typical example. 20 prime ministers of this country went to Eton. Whether we like it or not, it's a fact. It's an established fact. Some people hate them for it. Some people hate Eton. But for me, if you cannot be like them, sometimes you just hate them. Master, if I have the opportunity to put my children there, I would have done it. We will all do it because we know and believe that it will give them a greater chance in life, greater opportunities, better opportunities. Like I said, indirect bias, indirect discrimination, we all do it every single day. And therefore, for me, if the opportunity presents itself, then you might as well go for it. We will take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we will be looking at United States of America. There is one organization actively recruiting for nurses in the United States of America. And I will be able to give you the guidelines. But please, do not call me, because all that I'm doing is showing you the way, how to go about it and how to do it. Today, too, we have special gift for you, courtesy of Paradise City and Amway, Mr. Ishen. We will be giving some stuff out. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're taking a commercial break. When we come back, we will continue.
Medafo, we yamanka, wow, wo wo dan papa bi e wo Ghana na. Enso enam no kra Asante no. Who senya wo be mani sika. Say yesiesie wachi ma wo. Enti na ye ne Paradise City. Yeah, this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, Whooper Standard, Executive, Semi-Executive Quality Buildings. Yeah, in Paradise City, yeah, we're home out. It starts to get the approach about Ghana. Your payment terms no so. And a phone book call, Whooper self-finance, and as a mortgage. For Paradise City, oh, your telephone numbers, so UK +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Ye juma pa amagana yefe ankasa. Medafo, we yamanka wow wo die papa bi e wo Ghana na. Enso enam no kra Asante no. Who senya wo be mani sika. Say yesiesie wachi ma wo. Enti na ye ne Paradise City. Yeah, this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, Whooper Standard, Executive, Semi-Executive Quality Buildings. Yeah, in Paradise City, yeah, we're home out. It starts to get the approach about Ghana. Your payment terms no so. And a phone book call, Whooper self-finance, and as a mortgage. For Paradise City, oh, your telephone numbers, so UK +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Ye juma pa amagana yefe ankasa. Medafo, we yamanka wow wo die papa bi e wo Ghana na. Enso enam no kra Asante no. Who senya wo be mani sika. Say yesiesie wachi ma wo. Enti na ye ne Paradise City. Yeah, this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, Standard, Executive, Semi-Executive Quality Buildings. Yeah, in Paradise City. Yeah, we're home out. It starts
that God has a covenant with you. Therefore, you shall never be put to shame. Onyada for how any saying and a wooing. Justice and law solicitor said, Bomadiana brand and your mummy home como, on the mouth a futu, Nasay idea so to one more on the bow, no to one more. Immigration and answer nationality problems. Say a student application, family independent application. So pass it now, Kroma, and now lawyer Bino Jina one name or court amount. Personal injury claims. Say employment, landlord and tenant issue or housing issue. Family and divorce issues. Drafting legal document, will writing, renting and leasing shop, lease extension. Obina juicy canon persuade amount. Any unia kawakoma to him now how you know to a chat. But more than any justice and law solicitors for Nkasa. 075-3896-9589. And I say 0207-738-5841. But more than afraid justice and law solicitors. Na ye kwanya ye be faswa ye be wow. Obehum ewo Unit 35 Eurolink Business Center 49 Efra Road Brixton SW21BZ. Like I said, we have Victoria Line to Bristol. Bus 2 3 37 415 432 689 and 690. Siwa St. Andrew's Church Pastor. Sepa Emra Semodia Baby Ubia any justice and law solicitors. That God has a covenant with you. Therefore, you shall never be put to shame. Onyada for how any say and a wooing. Justice and law solicitors.
Okay, thank you very much. And that's also a courtesy of Paradise City. We've got blood pressure machine, as you can see, to give away. We also have what do you call it? Blood glucose test strip. And also at some point we will give away. This is a Christmas present. Through Amway, we also have toothpaste that we will also give away. So if you are watching us at some point, I will figure something out what to do in order to give this this away. We'll figure out a way out to sort this. This morning I came across this job advert in the United States of America, and I thought it would be very helpful to some of our listeners, those who are watching us from other countries in particular, who have certain qualifications such as nurses and who may wish to relocate to the United States of America and possibly work over there. So by all means, this is an opportunity for you. There is a company which I've just posted on the comment section. It's called Connect. What's the name again? It's called Connectix USA. Connectix USA, which is an agency recruiting for nurses to the United States of America. Once you click on the link, it will take you to their website straight away, and you can view jobs that they have available, and you can also register with the agency if you go on the right-hand side top corner of their website or their page. You can do so by providing general information to them: your name, date of birth, email address, mobile phone number, country of residence, country of birth, and your citizen, education and work experience. They are also, if you're also a nursing student in the United States, that is different. How many years of experience do you have as a registered nurse? And it goes on and on and on. It's basic. It doesn't say too much. It's not too deep. And at some point, you have to attach your CV. So this is an opportunity for people. And then you submit, basically. If you are not sure, by all means, you can go to their website, get their telephone number, ring them up, and they'll be able to assist you. Because at the moment, a lot of these so-called developed countries, as we all know, are struggling to recruit for people to, in their health sector due to COVID and the demand for registered nurses. I think you should be able to relocate easily if you are a qualified nurse. This is for the United States of America. This is what I can do to help. If you call me about anything, I will not be able to help you. All that I say is go to their website. They have an application forms. Basically, the nursing shortage in the United States. It's an agency who will be able to help you. They have a lot of information on their website, and they'll be able to assist you. If you go to their website, there's a lot of information out there that they'll be able to help you. They have a lot of information, how to apply. They have so much information on their website. I'm looking at it right now. So all that it takes is for you to be a bit active and a bit serious. It's not everything that everybody can do for you. This is not connection or anything like that. You just have to go in there, find out yourself, and get on with it if you mean it and you really, really want to take advantage of this scheme. So, that's the best that I can do for you. So please do not ring me and start asking questions about this. I simply do not know too much about it. I came across it. I did a bit of, reading around, and I thought, hold on, this would be very, very useful to some of our listeners, some of our viewers who may wish to locate to the United States of America. At the moment, there are certain states that are very, very desperate looking for people. And some of these states are as follows. Let's go back and see some of these states. Not every state is, good for everybody. Some people may have a choice, places that they really want to be. So let's have a look. Some of these states are desperate looking for nurses. So if you're a nurse in Kenya, okay, so you have New York. They are looking for nurses seriously. You have Florida, also looking for nurses. You are looking at Arkansas, also looking for nurses. Maryland, California, Pennsylvania, North and South Dakota, Texas, and Tennessee. They are all looking for nurses on a serious note. So you can apply just by clicking the Apply Now button. Once you go to the website and they ask you basic questions and you attach your CV, and at some point they will get in touch, do a bit of interview, and if you match, you will get yourself a deal, you will get yourself a job. So this is something that I think will be helpful to a lot of our listeners. Like I say, if it's not the UK immigration law or it's not UK law, I will not be able to help. But whenever I get information that I think will be helpful to or some of our people, some of our listeners, we will bring it on board. Who knows? Maybe through this program, you'll be able to live your dreams in another country, if not the United Kingdom. So that is the. Now, let's go to immigration, United Kingdom immigration and nationality law. We all know that we have come out of the European Union. This week, I was speaking to a client who was telling me that even though we are out of the European Union, he knows of a friend who has applied for his wife to join him in the UK under European law, and that the friend has been granted EEA family permit to join the husband in the United Kingdom. I was a bit surprised about this because I know that 30th of June, we come out of the European Union and the transitionary period also came to an end. So from my observation, two things. Either the application was made before 30th of June or the person is lying to his friend. Albeit after further deeper investigation, it transpired that in fact, the application was submitted before 30th of June. So if someone tells you that they have made an application after 30th of June under European law or under settlement scheme for family permit for their family members, be very, very careful, because there are people out there who will still exploit people based on wrong information. So be very, very careful. Number two, what I will also say is in respect to those people who submitted applications before 30th of June for their spouses to join them in the UK. It appears to me, or certainly there is something going on. What one will argue may be some sort of a blanket policy where applications are being refused from left, right, middle, center, on the basis that the parties' signatures on their marriage certificates are not the same, they are not similar, and as a result, it has led to a lot of refusals. Justice and law, we've been a victim of this. Sometimes you look at the signatures and you cannot tell the difference. The signatures look the same to me, but yet applications have been refused on the basis that the signatures on the marriage certificate and the signatures on the passports are not identical or do not match. And as a result, applications have been refused. Despite all that, we've been involved in court cases over the past, I would say, 2 months, and the issue appears to be the same. either marriage certificate or birth certificate. The strange thing is this. I am involved in a case which is coming up on 7th of January at the First Tier Tribunal of the Immigration and Asylum Chamber, where my client has been accused for providing an old birth certificate. Of late, too, Home Office have refused a lot of people on the basis that they did not provide their old birth certificate. You see, so it's a catch-22 situation. If you provide old birth certificate, you are being refused. If you provide new birth certificate, you are being refused. And I've also come across cases that those people have provided both old and new birth certificate, and they have still refused them on the basis that the birth certificate were not registered at the same time. It cannot be registered at the same time because the birth certs were not issued at the same time. And we all know that Ghana, there has been some changes in terms of birth and death registration, where we have been told that even if you have a birth certificate and you are going to do a new passport today, you are compelled to do another birth certificate again in order to get a passport. And as a result, people may have the old birth cert because of their policy that I would say it's not official policy because they have not written it anywhere. But you go to the passport office and they start playing games of your mind. Indirectly, they will push you to do a new birth certificate in order to get a new passport. Once you do that and you apply for British visa, it becomes problematic. You know, if you use your old birth certificate to apply for the visa, you are then accused that you need a new birth certificate in order to get a Ghana passport. The fact that you were unable to provide the birth certificate which you utilize to apply for the passport is grounds for refusal, and then it gets refused. There has also been cases where applications have been refused on the basis that you have provided old and new birth certificate and that they were not issued at the same time. Birth registration did not take place at the same time, and therefore application is refused. So now, regardless of what you do, there is always going to be a problem. And as a result, we have always encouraged people to do DNA to put that stupidity to bed. But some people are not willing or prepared to do DNA for some people, so political reasons, for religious reasons, and for moral reasons. Some people believe that is a whole lot of nonsense, that their own child, they have to go and do birth certificate and birth DNA. And some people too, because of fear the unknown. Some people are not comfortable, and people are different. That is fine. People do different things, and therefore some people feel like, why should they do that? They don't see the point in doing that, and therefore it's a matter of choice. They've decided not to do it. It's a matter of choice. So in this case, some people are getting refused left, right, middle, center, and everywhere. But all that I say is this: even where application has been refused and the individual has decided not to do DNA, you need to explain to the judge as to why you are not prepared to do the DNA. So we've been in cases like that, and the judges were able to understand why there was no need for a DNA. Recently, I would say before Christmas, we've done about 4 cases through the immigration court, and thanks and glory be to the Lord Almighty. All those cases we have won, where even the signatures were not the same. You see, the signatures were not the same. By the power of His Majesty, we turn up in court and we have won those cases because it's all down to explanation that you gave. As we all know, signatures do change from time to time, and people change their signatures. So if, for example, you've changed your signature and therefore the signatures are not the same, that does not mean that it wasn't you who signed the marriage certificate and so on and so forth. So if you know someone facing this situation, facing this struggle, get the person to get in touch with justice and law solicitors so that we can help the individuals to appeal successfully. Like I said, we've done 4 cases before Christmas, and all those cases we have been successful in doing so. So if you know someone facing that problem, then by all means get a person to get in touch with us after 4th of January, and we'll be happy to assist the individual. So many cases, sometimes people give up easily, and they may not wish to fight their cases through the courts. I do not understand. Personally, I do not get it. Why people just give up so easily? So there is hope. Once application is refused, it's important that you seek advice and go to right places, such as justice and law solicitors, and we will be able to help you. Also, one thing that I will also say is this. If you are submitting any application to the Home Office, do not submit any fake documentation. I will say this. Do not submit any fake documentation, because once you submit fake documents, that is it. There is nothing that any lawyer can do for you. People really, really need to understand this. It's better that you say you don't have it than simply submitting fake documentation. Because once you submit fake documents, there's nothing that a lawyer can do for you. And fake documentation also means you'll be banned for 10 years. That, you will not be able to make any successful application. So be very, very careful. People who normally just encourage people to do the wrong things. Do not try it. Do not attempt it. It's not going to help you. Okay. Also now, there has been another announcement for care workers who may wish to come to the United Kingdom to work. There's a new policy that is also coming up and is going to be implemented from January 2022. Today, it's not my intention to talk about it today, but what I'm going to do is Saturday's program. I'll be talking about that, and I will give more information and more details about that. So what I will say is that if you're interested, Saturday at 11 o'clock on Facebook and also on YouTube, you join me there. I've done a lot of talking. It's say 2:30. We started the program at 1 o'clock. So I've been talking for about 1.5 hours. It's Christmas. We will take this opportunity to wish all our clients, all our well-wishers, all those people who have made differences in people's lives, directly and indirectly. We thank you all for your prayers. We thank you all for your custom, and we thank you all for your guidance. Pastor Emery, wherever you are, Merry Christmas to you, and we thank you for your continued support and prayers. Nana Kwejo Amache, also we thank you for your continued support, for your continued prayers. Joe Ba Nyaminipa, baby ubi asoso yechiachia. Richard Efum, wherever you are, we greet you in the mighty name of Yeshua. Venisa Asante, yechiachia, baby biara ubiara. Boss lady Bakope, yemao efishia apa. Nana Ofori Ata Jankroma the first. Also, baby a uwu biara soso yemao efishia apa. Positive mami also so ye chiachia. Baby a uwu biara ye di nyankopon. Edawase for your continued support over the years. Justice and Law Solicitors. We started doing live program from 2010. Positive's mother has always been there for us, and we do appreciate her for her continual support. Madam Doris Opoku, baby Ubiara, also Yechiachia. Sasuna Abena or Benewa Asantewa Papebi. Or Benewa Santewa Papebi, Wawa, also so Yechiachia, baby Ubiara. Sasuna Gifty Amponsa, also good afternoon to you. Kwame Bedi, so Efishiapa. Michael Aqua, what can I say? Yame Inshirapa. Brunya de so yeni asopi. Yankopon enka wo ho. Na de da wakoma so bia so no onye ema. Sasra Patricia Star, wherever you are, we also wish you a Merry Christmas. Baby Fire, ye oja. So baby a ubia ono ma me ne unuanom nyina ye chiachia ene awie. Gordon Hene. Also baby a ubiara ye ma efishia pa. Now I hope se bibia so or rekodo boko. Saso na kwadwo tufo me chiachia. Do ledi nyina me chiachia. Me ma me efia asantewa. Baby a ubia. Ye ma efishia pa ene awie ene anopai ene anadwo. Saso na mame efia asantewa ene Mr. Asante. Also, baby, and this show is dedicated to you. I was pleased when you asked this question. I just said you are a woman of vision over any, but I be see when you so. Then when you say this, when you so, then Yakopon, Bemana Abem, Kama. Sasuna or Henny a champon. Baby, ubia also your chacham, any ebusia for Nina. Yeguso, ye preso, ye koyenem. Bernard Abbey. Also so ye mau efishia apa. I feel come to ye. I feel se braha near tin kwamu. Then Yakupon some nyansa. Now my progress. Now you move on from grace to grace. Sana ye shishe ewa ya brabo. Sasuna Alexander Ofosu. Baby Ubiara and Yabusian Fonina. Wolverhampton. Ye church munina. Na ene courtesy of Paradise City. Blood pressure machine. Any blood glucose test kit. And also so omodiaba. I say ye TF4 yemfa enchemo yemfa ni mubronya. Na criteria no ni amabre mi hu criteria krokra mi mfa start. Enti no a TF4 so what idea si bia ene fabra hwane mfama no. Courtesy of Amway product. See the toothbrush and toothpaste aba. The toothpaste no unfortunately if you had na na ebebrebe enti di bia kogu share dim enti akwa share di nim. Na e wo na mpese me de kire ense na e di ama. But the issue is meet me ko share dim enkoyi. I don't know. More ideas biara mo de ba. Ye be de en ye betimi afasa akwan ne so e de ache. Enye sa just Saturday ye ba na ye de ache. Enti ni nyina hwegum putogum ekọ enkwanse krom. Se mo de idea se ba hwan ye mfa nche no kwa be ne mfa so a eno so ye betimi. Enti bebie amatrofo na so se opeso we should be Merry Christmas and Happy New Year so a ubetimi idea afre na wa idea wakasa wa fidie yi so aha Maggie Thatcher me hu se wo frɛ wa se adwane aka be call live wo be so ba live oh sana etie se Maggie Thatcher so be so fra so ubetimi afre enti se metwa me jagum amatrofo ni twa tum sisi a so be so fra number ni 07538 969 589 na before me dey amatrofo ni betum kra so no se offer justice and no na we nya ye ya fache ye ni ambra ye renovation work power office one because of COVID ninti ye put measures in place said ye ya obi ba ho a obi ye free obi ye risk free Be making sure say office also look neat and fresh and clean for all our loved ones, for all our clients. And the way we do things is also going to change. It's Justice and Law Solicitors from 2020 Equidie. Opeso Behuya ya any diemu mesro P. Frene book appointment na enyefe. Said ya wuba no be ma me clash na enkofa your friend is saying inconvenience emre ubia. Yes repi. Sasu na o refer ubia ma yeso a many penny hu say Justice and Law Solicitors ye de mra ye adwuma etu baso so a de si wani so me betimi aboa wa ye be kire okwan no na afi no watu anamo pa na e de asumdwe abel enti no he said number no tudwa number ne ye 07538 969589 say ye topic bi mpo na yanka ho asem ne na pese ofre busa oso ubetimi idea afre ebusa ye wo ha emamo enti ubetimi afre ye go so ye twem phone calls enti so pese ofra over to you Obikai Joe Lati number no ebiem 07538 969589 also for Gabriel was ye chia when you busia phone ni na ye mamo a Merry Christmas and Obikai a Happy New Year baby amobi asoso no ye chia achia se opese ofra number no ye dia tudwa 07538 mamo free YouTube no to call the number to call the show 07538 969589 also mbetimi afre mamo from YouTube no also mbetimi afre enti ego so etwa mo call enti mon frɛ mentwe se obi en France en say na wa frɛ also utimi eyi beginner enti no mame enhwɛ se metimi abribe obi amena frɛ first caller na e was ye check toothpaste and blood pressure machine and the wahanomo any blood glucose na ye pekwan be fa so ediama obi. At the moment, I'm not sure the best way to go about this. And may come was me contribute to. Me pesa ye be mo bi na akwese de bi omo mo we prices no omo kwa na ewe ne. Anything na ye pe mo so mo ideas what you think is the best way to give this away. And also ubitimi idea afren. Number no 07538 969 589. Se opese ofre na owishi obi efishia paso so a eno so obetimi idea osu betimi idea afrai enti yego so etwen mko right. The YouTube chat is not working. I don't know why. Forgive me, I'm trying. Say YouTube, so person chat here, and not just on your YouTube account. And you have to sign up. And I say, how does it work? I say, so we call Justice and Law YouTube page. You have to subscribe. Or subscribe, it will allow you to chat. Said the year will be post to be a bit me on panel because I know a bit progress. You see, and no man be put to any rubbish there until say I'm gonna put you all these mechanisms in place where you'll be forced to sign up first. Now after waiting me idea. Yeah. I'm working on it. I'll find a way to work on it so that people can also paste their comments. May try send me the BB air boss now. Let me say me air crown for we are all learning. It's new to me at the moment. I haven't been using the YouTube for some time, you see. 07538 yes. All right. It's not going to work. I don't know how to make it work. So I guess I will give up for today. But you're able to see the YouTube. I believe you should be able to see the YouTube because I can see it working here, but maybe the posting is what is not working. But you have to, in order to make it work, I think you have to subscribe first to Justice and Law YouTube page, and then from there you should be able to easily post something there. Let me try this device and see if this will work. Okay, let's see. Okay. Right. You'll be back next week. Okay, interesting. I don't know what's going on the YouTube, but we will work it out, and hopefully it should be able to work next. It should be able to work next week. We will work it out, and hopefully it should be able to work next. We should be able to work next week. It's interesting. Okay, so we will see. We will see what we can do next week. Right. Okay, so person fra yenko ne twi right. Ebi atwi mu de amanfo betimi afre. Enye sa de a na che say ye di dwumadie beba na wie ene de na just one off on a Sunday. So person fra once again my fat number now N2KB. Like I said, through you Paradise City, we have this to give away. I am not sure the best way to give this away. And also we have blood glucose. What's this? Blood glucose test strip, and also Paradise City. They've also given some toothpaste to be given away. So by all means, if you are interested, I was asking for opinions how to get this across to people. So by all means, if you are interested, at some point, we will do what? We will give it away, but you have to come with your ideas because I'm not sure the best way to give this away. Among for Eddie Brunya, Ubia Abre. Na ene na itwase SMB program yi ebremo. Education, and education. Nyame adom osade afe asai ache. Yede nyame ase bibia mu no yemfa nase ema nyame. Nyame ana ahwe so ama afia sako ababetu yebie. Ene yesori ya yanti asempa Desmond Tutu, the fighter of freedom in South Africa, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Ene oko akwa huni nyame wewu efri atiasifo yi asasi eso entino na chese news a ewo hono no yemi abi afre yemfa no na yenti de ono so edebre enawie. Hello
official lawyer
afi enko na emesan ye ho na odin de sen ana akase frɛ.
Oh, me pacho, you're from Nanaya, and I'm pretty Kent.
Nanaya from Kent. Yeah, that was a passer wa free. Now, when you're free, so dear, Obi Johnny, and his idea we see the mouth. A blood pressure machine, courtesy of Paradise City. Almost say Yemfas idea we Emma ye tearful nibi. Na minim kwa mefa so diama will be. but what afraid the not just say I was say it me at the mouth. Now also what me at the check your blood pressure because blood pressure idea edinya ewo ekrumu apa na ayana emre pi no yen taking it serious me say me obi wo ho every week bia no me check it say bibi nkoya then I put it at the right place said yeah blood pressure me menya heart attack me menya we na me nkowu ewa bra it can be avoided enti nana wa afraid na chese e was here this adi amount. It's one in the price, Nana. No problem at all. Now, and the day bit me a yamau, a fishy apostle. So.
Oh, I think I'm saying. Mammy say me be say, almost private school or some now who can't first, you know. Say dear, won't mean to ya school fees in the crowd, but between ya. Bursary part and I said full. And maybe to say now who can be says if you earn below 20,000 sano ebi on between our wow. Now maybe to say so we like lone parents in Swan on between our wow now. As we are doing part time.
Yes, on between our 20,000 on the kind of medium example. Because minimum obia said you a juma wa you in a year, almost 126,000 pounds a year. And so omoba edgy bursary. Me who you know, in fact, a year ye. Now a chromoano, one thing they say well musa. Now one fee when near what is come not a commodity. I'm telling you. Because me busa nipa me fee mono. Na enipa no omoji be 126,000 pounds no. Bursary no, they will be looking at your income and expenditure. Na me hwe nipa ne expenditure no. Me hwe income no. Che say afi de be so no, na ni income no ma spending ni nyina. What did they nyina wo mo? Se bronya bromre na me ye fe say Switzerland na me yi so ayese so ye fe ni ski holiday. And send a summer. I said, oh, and send a summer. Almost had in Lanzarote. Meaning, nobody I come home. I must say, the Basaji Beasley. And he said, you say, we will hear me be now to one of my who say any pana. Not if you when you call brain and say, I don't know your BBA easy. There be a yana getting out all use. Or my system, no, a year, Jumamano. So more. It is a winning say the system is it here. Said you woman. Na abrobi ka asem bi kire me o ka asem no mfi se didi atem no odidi o se enye sika na edi sidan ye di adwene na sidan enu bi no so enye sika wo gi o na mmom se de wosi a portion everything afi oji 126,000 na da so je bezria un se enwa na me fifim na mu se emome krom apa wa hu system ni ya hunu siye. Oh, me feel say unfortunately, baby, I free ban. Your mindset and the way you see when you may be no a tree sign. Because what
because me who say me ba me feed there. Me to me who say yamia na dom both sport ne academically no. Or you okay wo ho.
Yeah.
Na mum no big group. Intina my sister some time ago na me show my say private school the almost say private school no classroom nkwala na wo no musa.
That's right.
They are 20 they are now say 15 be number one class. But public school they are 32.
That's right.
So my who to me yeah pa I was small group until my sister private school ni mu bi I should say they are many mu kwanya manana. But then they are working even if I say I may I feel so cry like me tika menya no can say me part time 15,000 crying and so I made a chia a 4,000 pound a term made a chia the one na the two my do no ho nti and then me tie we na me anyway dear me say mu ye na omu fa obi o long term and collage and na me hwehwe mu ye
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact is that we are lone parents, you know. We say it's very easy for your mind to tell you, say, hey, and you're no crown, I'm a mom foul. But and also so now, where your advantage. The fact is that we are lone parents, you know. The schools want to be seen to be inclusive. And therefore, people from different backgrounds, different circumstances are also being given fair chance and equal opportunity. It may make us say, never give up. Schools say what areas now, I will say a private school. I won't say you have identified, say, private school no will be good for your child because Accra will flourish in a small group. And you are spot on. And as a parent, you need to know what is good for the child. And therefore you explore it and get the best for your child. And you can even pick up the call, speak to the school that this is my circumstances, this is what I'm trying to get, what is it that I need to do. They can bring you prospectus, go through one by one, page by page, and look at what they are looking for. I remember since school, some more Accra with Timisa Bali, and I'm just thinking, Bali, what on earth is Bali? Who's a free name Bali the cry?
Yeah.
Oh, my young Jamaican, it was if any floating dance. So it's one of those. Whether we like it or not, we are in the system. Don't just sit there and complain about the system. Make the system work for you. And once you understand the system now, believe in me, you can also fit into the system and you can make the system work for you. And we should be very ambitious. We must not let certain things put a block in our mindset. My friend will say, Oscar Bimpon, mindset revolution. We have to be able to, know, say we can do better than what we have. And by so doing, we will open doors, we will open ways for our children. Obi oha oko school bia o say eh na say school dey mrofo nkwa na wa ho me bibini dey ye be da family and the schools they want to be seen to be inclusive and directly indirectly so bampo enya dia the fact is obaye black no on person mo ye inclusive nti e be fa oba na eja broni wo ho enti bi ma sa adwene no e meshi yetirim all the time say eh bia me tuntum ti emwa me e bia wo skin color fi say emwa no e no kra na be advantage a e be boa enti we should not dwell on the negative. We can also dwell on the positive because I look around in so many areas. I picked someone from the airport, and to be honest with you, airport or Mishima, Emrofo any India phone kwana kwa kuguanamo. Ube kodaki ba kubi miunubi. I'm asking myself, Adentina yankro so any hano because ebia making the block a share dreaming. I said ejuma with them ya prakra yen family. Oh, to the show, you have already defeated yourself. And therefore, what is the point? Until we all have to push. Yeah, keep pushing. And I know, say, the door will open to your surprise. And by so doing, you'll be an inspiration to others as well. And you don't give up. Keep pushing. Because no problem at all. And you over text of address abafuni ya so. Now you're sending this to you by post. Why? And
thank you.
No problem. No problem. This is from Paradise City. The address yemfa Emma etie for nibi. And time limpo abo saying you'll be 8 minutes pet. Now ye did you eba na wie. Eda sipi nana.
Bye.
Bye. Say opese wo fra wo so betimi afre number no 07538 969 582 also betimi afre sa number yi so enti nego so etwe mo call say betimi afra na yenu ambesi YouTube no enye adwuma ba me de to no say ye adwuma which is a bit surprising. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, lawyer.
Good afternoon to you. Afe enkometo ye na emesan ye ho.
Ani ebusuafo nyina me mamu nyina fishiafa.
Busuafo.
Regional lawyer dem ada yɛtiefoɔ nyinaa se yɛma mo nyinaa na aseɛ ne afuhyia pa moayɛ adeɛ ne support a sɛbio mode aboa yɛ ne lɔyɛ nyinaa yɛda mo ase bebree
ɛda mo ase
na lɔya wayɛ adeɛ ɛnɛ Christmas da nkɛsɛ sɛ wo ne wo family tena ase no na wabɛtena hɔ but nɔɔma wabɛkyerɛkyerɛ no ɛyɛ very very educating kyerɛ sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ yɛtumi de boa yɛ mma no na daakye bi no ne yɛnyae sɛ tuntum yɛfa buroni lɔya nkurɔfoɔ bebree de saa nsɛm no hyehyɛ nkwalaa adwene
oh yes
nti yɛ na ɛha adwene yɛma ɔmo ngyina pintin sɛ adeɛ wei mɛtumi ayɛ a ɔwɔdim na yɛ
that's right
ne yɛnkoragyi wɔ mo ne yɛnyae sɛ aborɔfo nyɛ idiafoɔ nyɛ weinyɛ ɛha adwene bebree nti akwadaa no pɛ sɛ ɔkɔ adwuma mu koraa na school mu koraa na ne yɛmu hyehyɛ no yɛnyae saa nsɛm no a yɛkeka de hyɛ nkwalaa adwene mu no ɛnyɛ papa ne yɛmfa anigyeɛ ne nkwalaa no ɛnkasa na ɔmo nso yɛmpushu wɔn na ɔmo nya baabi nyina onya baabi gyina a lɔya wasom atɔ
that's right
place nyina twa nti no mɛsrɛ atiefoɔ nti atiefoɔ maame ma ɛbo atoma gyina lɔya nan mu aka akyerɛ mo sɛ wɔde naase kɛse na afe a ɛbɛsi mu yi yɛnkɔ yɛnim yɛmfa yɛ nyansa ne yɛ hoɔden ɛnsamfa nkaa yɛ radio no akyi na menim sɛ ɔsɛefoɔ no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛyɛ no da bi a yɛbɛkɔ yɛnim daa
amen
because da bi a yɛtenke straight paa
that's right
nti wankasa wo ba na woyɛ sɛefoɔ a waa wobɛkɔ nti kakra a bɛka no na lɔya mɛma na n'ahenkan afihyia pa ɛne ɛbi ne nkwalaa no nyinaa bɛma ɔmɔ hyefia pa
ɔmo gye wo so
nyankopɔn nhyira wo
ɔmo soso
na
ɛma
yɛhwɛ na yɛmmɔ mpa yɛ nso ma wo na wonya ahoɔden na fa bɛtena
amen
daase pii nyame nhyira wo
ɛnea before so bɛkɔ ne soso no oba soso akɔsie o maame aba wɔse memfa naaseɛ ɛma
bɛbaba
ai
yɛda nyame ase so waba bɛduru asomdue mu
sa
na ade ase wote hɔ na papa di a wotumi kɔ kɔyɛ biribiara na de ba nti meba wotie me a mema wakɔ aba mema wafihyia pa da nefa rest kakra menim sɛ wabrɛ na menim sɛ wobɛrest na akyire no mafrɛ wo na me ne wakasa medaase pii lɔya so wabɔ mamade yɛ sɛ meba nso aba yɛda nyame ase
wabɛduru asomdwie mu a
yɛda nyame ase paa nti no ɔrest kakra
sa
na wɔrest nso a wɔbɛteme nka na menim sɛ ɔtie sɛ ɔkoraa na ɔbaeɛ no ɔna a wɔtie
ɛnyɛ sɛ wɔkai
yes nti lɔya medaase pii bema mo nyinaa afihyia pa mema presenters ɔhene ba boss lady mu nyinaa mema mo nyinaa afihyia pa maa me mmerɛkua mu nyinaa mo support nyankopɔn nhyira mo ɛne DJ mama medaase binim sɛ mo a motaata akyire no ɛdɔɔso nti no meda mo nyinaa wase pa nyankopɔn nhyira mo
amen
lɔya mɛgyaa wo bye bye. Do move forward. I have a nice holiday.
Okay. I say your time the code anymore. You'll be 4 minutes per so open fra also ubet me idea afre na jumadino yadi about the way. Give it to me I can't say if we are so for a dream passion with him. Be positive and be progressive. The Sewagiri will be encourage your children to be positive in their dealings with anyone and everybody. And very, very, very important. Because all the negative thoughts, I share a cry on your positive with that. And I want your positive so a new year and not the fact of life. On the negative mindset, I show my dream. History tells us to say in the end, people turn against them. Desmond Tutu and the Wuye. There will be a kafan who be a asempa. And so Adolf Hitler, Ubia Anka Asempa and Yadian, and Fanahu. And Tino se Wutia Yakopo Adum or Sade and the Ache. Yada Ubi Biara Ase over the years for your continued support. I don't know what to say. We have 2022 ahead of us. And then in Pabani say Yakopo. Enkoso inshira obi biara na onhwe so na omfa yimra afia eba mu boko afi biam eni emu ensem se Nyankopon aya adom na sa afi we ana se Christmas we aba betoye ya na eche se eye na ase ene entontom ana yede ema ye Nyankopon na yenim se 31st esoba betoye asomdwem na afi no ayede aba na wiye na Christmas so ebe bia okay ini ebi so afre yemfa no. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lawyer. Oh, wait, I mean, friend contribute to Kakra as on 20.
We patrol one, I can say.
Yeah. Our topic now is very educative.
Thank you.
Miss Album, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah. I was saying, well, a topic now we treating say parents it mean that and you appreciate my forward is very good because normally young blacks now what had the so said in Kolani your member or who acquired life they will compete with other white children any other follow Indian for Asian follow but it's we look down upon our children. We have to push them forward so that at least they can also stand somewhere in future.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, that was it. We will make sure that you be encouraging and man no wasting a day. Even at all, say a do parent teacher consultation and say mommy na you push up and for facing the teacher and not on the weak points in children. Say parents, we to me tie way better said we the parents are also into the child's education or the child's academics into that was Yamisha to be fair contribute to Yamisha
Mami Asantewa, thank you very much for calling in. Now where the enye law asem emema yaso odin eno de no doubt me meka ho bio ye de aba ana esi me so nsia na mako enti no advice be na obetimi de ama ye nuanom mema ni bi ma so odin te me because aya na ye free say oh school a odi akore ko parent evening de maame lie odi akore ko school de ye maame lie ye free say we ye be ma odi wo ye adwuma wie na so odi skato a wo wie wo adwuma oh eno ye cool thinking cool across agony ni and you're wrong. I know say you're wrong, but unfortunately some of us that is our perception. What advice can you give to some of the parents, especially men who are listening? Me mom dear, to be honest with you, I had that mindset, but I was able to change that mindset when I had my child. Say parent evening, me kobi nam de me ho agim. Se me ba eko school interview kra na me jade me ye bia na me kobi. Na me ba kra no se bi oko secondary school. That time 2013. Na me wo Makola Law School. Me jai esa bai ene me ko me interview no. Na ye ko interview no and I will say this. Ye ko ye no India for wom emrofo bebre ko daki for me hu tupe. Meba any one other parent. Now said yeah, my presence there no said they say motivating me no. I was very surprised. O free interview ba no okache plain so be in school no. Because she was that confident. Test or cultural or we okache so be in school no. And to be honest with you, on your school no from secondary school all the way to sixth form. 7 years in here no. Sebio school fees kran me ntua bi a private school enti se committee de ne nkrofo keka se obentimi nye se obentimi nye yen try na yen free adwene se obi betimi aya ade na bentimi nye ebia ne se make us obi woji over 126,000 pounds a year and so no ne baji bursary e kwan be no fa so because onim se the system ni sitie and how to manage the system but emre p no yetena akiri na ye use race na ye de complain what the race ye complain no and ko see we say let the system work for you by understanding the system.
And I know I mean one thing about sometimes we don't push forward, we don't go forward to make the That's all because they say, oh, wait, is this we know we look down on ourselves. Say, oh, me, find it out. Say, school, the baby to me, oh, how would they, how would they rate me? Do they think? How would they think I can afford the fees? You understand? But sometimes, as you said, it's good for you to go and ask than sit back and listen from other people. Say, oh, school, tell it here. It's a good thing to take a step forward because school will go and make your own inquiries.
That's right.
That's right. And my parents, so I will say, man, parent teacher consultation, but even at all, one thing I'm madam to be catching, also sometimes, so you be and say, oh, teachers no person money would and colano almost academics was a
progress.
You have to go because sometimes even the mere fact say who present but who some seriousness in you.
Yes.
It is a crowd class. They will not look down upon the child because when we say parents, you're very serious parents. So the little thing that was the opening says less mistake, you hold them on.
Yes.
So they will be very, very careful with your child. You understand? So it doesn't matter. Say we are PhD and now we are degree holder. Son, who went to your committee, parent with was a child teacher or whatever. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Mame Asantua for your wonderful contribution. And I believe it will help a lot of people because at the end of the day, your presence there alone can make a lot of difference. I have had similar experience where one teacher turned around and said, I did not know that you have such an ambition for your child. Because we a parent, not say you seem to say you don't care. The teacher will not care either. And therefore, if we are saying, you need to show you care so that someone else can also care for your child. But if you don't care, why should they care? It's as simple as that. And we have to be a positive force and we have to be very, very supportive to our children, and it will help them a great deal. And being there alone also motivate and inspire children. And therefore, we all have to do our bit to help our children. And that was CP. Mami Asantua, you didn't be also say a price maybe. And courtesy of Mr. Ishan Amway product, you have one Amway toothpaste, which we will.
Thank you.
Yes, toothpaste is really a organic original. The beer cost you and yeah, that was CP for your wonderful contribution.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, 3:06, and we say you most I think I'm out for free, but time and not aso. Enti yedi dwumadi no ebeba na wieye ye de nyame ase ese ode ene soso ache enti anwumi ye fa anwumi enwie program sana etie
Friday Japolo all night, Saturday night our club. Yali Martin team and short. our school, now so my message to people go for me. Say you jam so my bad, I yell to me. I be so unia, baby sawa so jam so my bad, I yell to me. Why me janka na sama ya mabuli? Say jam so my bad, I yell to me. Unia from when you were venturing. Jam so my bad, I yell to me. Na membu when you would actually see. I see. Cabo so free you are. Nadia came on the one. I'm Mushabu, Nadia, the one. Gamos of Rijiwa. Also, ya Malcolm wisdom on the baby. No coffee, what the other one. Share a who Christian, a who Muslim, a who careful, a who soft, a who comfort. As a project.
This program was brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors. 35B, the link, 49 Ephra Road, Brixton, London, SWT 1BZ. Our telephone number is 07538 969 589 or 0207 993 5976. Our office is closed until the 4th of January. If you want to call us, please do call us after 4th of January 2022. Saturday, we will bring you Legal Matters, the original Legal Matters. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless. I will say God bless. Nyakopon enka obi ahwate. Je nyakopon ye obi afanisa ate. Enkwa ne hia. Enkwa ne hia. Obi na wayo. Obi de susuru wudi po. Obi na wayo. Obi de susuru wudi po. Obi na wayo. Obi de susuru wudi. Obi na wayo. Obi de susuru wudi po. Fear while again, Grandpa be the fear or would it chin? No rushing, or 7 minutes to them, and to be the devil coaching. Stop, now we're aiming for what they listen. Only man not so anchor them. Into the jar will be poor. Roman father so I am. I will buy some pedal. One woman is so anchor them. What the bone my head in the bed? What the prison so I am. Like a dash of making Palia, and you will not be a you. Maybe you pressure baby the duty. Another one I'll be a so. Free so be now. I say, maybe this is the woody. It's what they to them. What will be no need on the inside? Or this one to Mwado. They be all than the Yabia safe. It's a 1 power. I didn't have you. Mother, watch you so I then. It's a lap as an eagle, the 1 year we young with their sob and swimming. I will see your best to move onto the next. They will pass, forget until then you are happy yourself. Yeah, you better making money, building mansions, you better getting married. All you true, making you about them, they could be we will be married. Understand? You better because you're getting 70, so this is what you and they can't forget to put to Sunday.